Get Warrior Tough, Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman on 105.5 The Roar. Back to Andrew Wittman.
All right, we're back. I'm Leadership and Mental Toughness Coach Andrew Wittman, joined by the mighty Lee Harper. Hey, guys, I keep saying this over, but seriously, go to the YouTube channel, get the podcast, subscribe to the newsletter, and you'll be feeding on good stuff.
Look, it's not only informational; it's entertaining.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's fun.
That's the whole thing. You got that. It can be life changing. It can be life changing. Whether anybody just thinks, Andrew's just on the radio, whatever. That's not true. That is not true at all. It can change the way you live. It can change your life in general.
And that's why I do what I do, Lee. And that's why we do, because that's the payoff for me, is that we helped folks be better than when I found them, or they found me, and I would ask this, on a scale of 1 to 7, how well do you love your life? Not just what you do, but your life. How well do you love your life? If you're not a 7, can you get there? Yes, you can get there. How? I can help you with that. There's a process. It's not going to happen in one day. It's not going to happen in a 2-hour coaching. And this is the same thing for business. See, businesses be like, well, how does it? Listen, your business is only as good as your people. Your business is only going to be as good as your people. Let me say it one more time. Your business is only going to be as good as your people. And if they don't have complete control of themselves, if they're not CEO of them, mind, body, and emotions, if they don't have elite warrior mindset, if they're average-minded and we don't, help them, train them, create those meta programs, create that thought process of elite warrior mindset, then your business cannot be. A chain is only as strong as what?
Its weakest link.
Right. And so your business is only going to be as strong as your weakest person.
And that's true. And the leader overall is the most important.
Right, and they're setting the tone. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of leaders that they're not thinking 300-year plan. If your business doesn't have a 300-year plan, you need to call me, man, at 864-977-1772. If you haven't even thought about having a 300-year plan. I have some people like, well, I don't want that. Okay, you don't want it. What do you want? See, again, people tell me what they don't want. They don't tell me what their target is. I don't want to hit it in the sand trap. Where's it going? In the sand trap. I don't want to hit it in the water. Gabloosh. I don't want a big thing that I can't, it's going to be too big. Don't stop telling me what you don't want. Tell me what you do want. We could create that.
And see, one business, ever since you've been on air, one business that comes to mind is Google. Google has got it down pat. They have a happy workforce. They have people that are in charge that are positive reinforcement. They let their people know when they do a good job. They don't beat them down. They reward them all the time, and they're very good leadership. And it is it's perfect, but it's
close as we could get.
It's a great business model.
It is, and they inspire creative solutions to problems. They want you to do critical thinking. They give you room to solve a new problem. They empower their people. What was that movie with the interns with Vince Vaughn and it was about Google. They were going out to be Noogles or whatever.
I can't remember the name.
I think it was. I don't know if it was the internship or whatever, but it was a great movie. That's a good mental toughness movie too. It'll help you see, kind of see what their vision was, and they had that vision. Those guys had a vision. None of these things happened. Walt Disney had a vision.
Well, they have creativity rooms. They have these places where their employees go out there and they may play ping pong.
That's their superpower, was vision. Those guys' superpower was vision. Walt Disney, superpower, vision. Henry Ford, superpower was vision. He had a vision. He had a 300-year plan. Henry Ford changed the entire way that the global economy works with the assembly line. He had a vision of how everybody could have a motor car. It was only for rich folk. Only rich folk could get it. He had a vision.
Bill Gates
had a vision. Steve Jobs. Don't make that phone, Steve. You just stick to your little iPod thing. Don't make the phone. Oh, okay. Because he had a vision. Every one of these guys, their superpower is vision. It's hard to be depressed, because when you're depressed, half your brain shuts down, the creative solving problem half. We have to turn that back on, start creating the vision, and you'll run out of depression. You'll run right past it. You'll run past it. It'll just be a blip in the 300-year plan. It's so much fun, isn't it?
It really is, because you got me thinking about if you hang around a lot of negative people, It's one of the most depressing things there is.
Consciousness is contagious, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Listen, and I tell this to my personal training clients, man. If you're going to hang out with people that eat junk food all the time, you're going to eat junk food. You're not going to change them. They will change you. You will not raise the level of the group's thinking. It's groupthink. You'll lower to whatever the medium, the lowest common denominator is. If you see, when I was in the Marine Corps, when I was a Lance Corporal, I used to hang out with corporals. When I got promoted to corporal, I hung out with the sergeants. Once I made sergeant, I was hanging out with the captains and the lieutenants. When I was a federal agent, I wasn't hanging out with other federal agents. I was hanging out with members of Congress. Where do you want to go? That's who you need to hang out with. It's about having those mentors and having those people. And people, man, they love helping people up. You go find an elite warrior. They'll want to hang out with you if you're coachable and teachable and moldable.
Well, I've always said this, and what you're talking about, this, this has nothing to do with business, but growing up, if you hang out with the wrong kids, you're going to go down the wrong path.
See, your mom knew that. She was right, man.
You're 100% correct.
So I'm very, very, very selective of who my friends are. Now, anybody can be around me. I'll let anybody be around, but to be in my inner circle and to be my friend, I probably have less than 5. Less than 5. And it's funny because my kids say, every time we meet one of your friends, they sound like you. Like Fulchetti, Craig Miraz, Alan Ford. These guys are all high-level thinkers. They're all high-level performers. They are elite warrior mindset. They solve problems. They're not creating them. And they're just so impressed with my friends. But see, they do what I do. So here's the kid. The kids are going to do what you do. And business owners, your subordinates, your employees are going to do what you do, not what you say. They're going to do what you do. And my kids are very selective about their friends, and they have very good friends. They don't have a lot of them, but the ones that they do are high quality, great dudes that come from great families, and they do what you do.
Well, see, there's a question that I've actually asked. I will see somebody that's driving, $100,000 car. They live in a $2.5 million house. And I'm like, how in the world did they get there? Well, you know what you just said, if I hang out with people like that, I can learn how to.
Yeah, you'll find out
how to get there.
And that's the whole thing. It's all about thinking. They think differently. They're not hanging out with people that are watching TMZ and the news and celebrity gossip and talking about Blake and Miranda at the water cooler. They're talking about ideas. Eleanor Roosevelt said this. She said, small-minded individuals talk about people. Average-minded individuals talk about events. But big-minded individuals talk about ideas. And that's how they drive those cars and they live in those houses, because they spend their time focusing on ideas, not talking about people and running down the neighbor, not talking about events, the weather, and all, what's going on in politics and whatever the score of the game was. They're talking about events. Now, listen, I'm not telling you I don't talk about the score of the game, and I'm aware, okay? But I'm focusing on ideas. That's where we need to put our focus, is on ideas. See, what I want to talk about at the game, this is what I talk about with Quack. Not just the score of the game. I want to talk about how do these performers get great results, because I want to copy that. That's why I love great coaching. I love Bill Belichick. I love Pete Carroll. I love Dabo Swinney. I love Nick Saban. I love Gus Malzahn. That's crazy. I love that these guys have great coach. They have great success. I want to know what it is that they do, and then I want to look at the athletes and see what they do. I absolutely love. See, that's what we're talking about. Ideas. What are the ideas? How do they get there? This is where the elite warrior mindset comes in. Holy smoke, the hour's gone, man. This is good fun, though, isn't it?
Everything you're saying, because I'm telling you, there's been so many times in my life where I have actually done that. I've got a guy that I've known for a long time. He's driving a Lamborghini. He's got a construction company. He's always had something a little nicer. And it's because of his thought process, is the way he goes about things is different from the normal person. And what you're saying all makes total sense.
Yeah, he's got a different level of mindset. That's awesome. Lee, man, this has been great. Yeah, I've enjoyed hanging out with you today, man.
I have too, man. Always.
Good times, man. And so I'm really excited about football season starting. It's like 21 days, right?
Yes, it is. September 5th. September 5th.
Can't wait, bud. Buckle up. It's so good.
We talk about in the past year that we're opening with Georgia and all this. I don't care. Just start playing some football.
Let's play the game, man. That's how I'm with you, man. Enough with all the chit chat. Let's play the game, baby.
Let's go to Wofford.
All right. So look, I'll see you next week. And hey, right before we leave, guess what? We're going to be moving the show in a couple weeks to Thursday nights.
Absolutely.
Because when football season starts, the station was so kind to me. They said, hey, we got a spot for you on Thursday nights.
And that will be immediately following Walt Deptula, 7 o'clock.
I love Walt, man.
So y'all check him out because it's a really good show, and it is very, very life changing.
Yeah.
And every week I learn something new.